Well, good morning. Here we are. We're on my personal YouTube channel, and I'm doing a live video streaming with the Canon M50 Mark II. I had the Canon M50 Mark I, which I loved. I really quite liked the quality of the video for the price that I paid for the camera. In fact, if you look around YouTube, you will find that a lot of the top content producers for YouTube just use a Canon M50, which is a $700 camera, and it works fantastic. But what it doesn't do fantastically is output to clean HDMI. Now, clean HDMI is when you just take a cord and you put it on the side of your camera, and that HDMI goes into your computer or onto your TV or whatever kind of monitoring device that you have, and doesn't display any of the display bits on the screen that you're looking at. You're looking at it on. That's really important because with such a great camera, you're really tempted to use it essentially as a webcam. The audio is good and the video is good, and you want that to go into your live stream. So what you had to do in the Mark One is get an HDMI capture device. I use the Camlink 4K, and you had to turn everything off. You had to turn off the autofocus. You had to turn anything that would be on the display. You had to turn off. And so you could use it, but you had to, it was really finicky to focus. Anytime you wanted to zoom in or pan, or even if you moved around too much, it wouldn't catch you, and you'd be out of focus. So anyway, it kind of ruined things in terms of getting that nice, good bulk black background that I have here. Anyway, lived with it, tried different things, ended up pre-recording a lot of stuff that I ordinarily would have streamed live. And anyway, that was the way it was. So then I got this cheap video camera, a Canon Vixia R800, which was okay-ish, but not great in low light. Certainly not as good as the M50 Mark II, or the Mark I, which is not fantastic in its own right, but certainly better than that really essentially a toy video camera that I bought. And it had clean HDMI, but I was sacrificing image quality. It was very grainy. And, I'm not a perfectionist by any means, but I would like things to be watchable, and I would like the experience for my particular video needs, which is I work for a church, and I want the church folks to not be distracted by the lack of quality. That's kind of how it goes. So long story short, lived with it, not super happy, but do what you got to do. And then the Mark II came out, and it had clean HDMI, which you're looking at right now. I'm shooting this video live to YouTube using the Mark II with clean HDMI, and there's no little focusing boxes. I'm going to take a little quick picture here and show you what I'm looking at, and you can compare it yourself to what you're looking at. So luckily, my phone has a camera. What a time to be alive. So this is what I'm looking at right now. So let me just see, and look, we're back in focus. We're going to take a look at that. So let's see here. So let's see, is that going to focus? Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. If you look at the display on the camera, you got all the bits. You get your audio, I think audio is there. You get your autofocus box, and you get basically the stuff that you need to know is working in order for you to be confident that your stream is going the way you want it to. So that's what I'm looking at, and what you're looking at is just my ugly mug. So initial response, my initial because I just got this on Saturday, my initial impressions of the M50 Mark II are extremely favorable. I'm getting exactly what I had before in terms of image quality. I use the Canon 22 millimeter f2 lens for the video work that I have to do that doesn't involve zooming and all that kind of stuff. I just find it's a great lens. It's nice and wide and open and fast. So with that, I'm getting exactly the same kind of image quality. For audio, I use a cheap little clip-on mic. This little guy right here cost me, I don't know, like $24. And I use it for almost all my videos because, hey, it just works. And that's what I want. I want something to just work. So what would I give the Canon M50 Mark II? Well, if you are looking to upgrade from the Canon M50 Mark I to the Canon M50 Mark II, I believe the only thing that makes it worth your while is the clean HDMI out. So if you do not need clean HDMI out, if you've never used it and you don't foresee using it in the past, in the future, then just stick with the M50 Mark I. It's pretty much the same camera. However, if you really enjoy the video quality of the M50 and the price point is good for you, and you've got the lenses and you've got practice with the camera, and you have really missed clean HDMI out with autofocus, then the M50 Mark II is a good upgrade. Here's what I did. I bundled up all the camera stuff that I never use. So I took my M50 Mark I and I took a nifty 50 lens, so 50 millimeter 1.8 lens, which I never use. I love it, but I just never use it. And I took that and I took I think it was an 18 to 105 Canon ultrasonic lens that I bought for some reason, uh, and again, never used. And figure I never would use. Bundled those things together, plus the kit lens, so the 14 to 55. So I sold that all for $650 cash on Facebook Marketplace. And I was really happy because the kid who bought it was, I don't know, he's like 17, and he's desperate for an M50. That's the camera he wanted. Came with his dad, and he had a Rode video mic with him because he wanted to make sure the Rode video mic would work with the M50, which of course it does. But so I turned it on and I told him about the various lenses, and he had this smile on his face, like he was really excited to be getting the M50. So other than the M50 for $650, I picked up the Mark II on Amazon. Sorry, local retailers, but you just didn't have it. I picked it up for $8.99. So, for $250, I got my clean HDMI. And I'm very happy with that. I still got I still got my M50 that I love and all the features that I loved with it. And I also got clean HDMI, which I absolutely love too. And we'll see if you love it too. I keep glancing over at the viewfinder just to see how it looks on the camera, and it looks really rich and warm. But as I look down on my monitor, and I try not to look down because I get the reflection goes on my glasses. I get a much cooler image. So the HDMI out is cooler than what you get on the viewfinder. So keep that in mind and adjust as necessary if you can. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to stick with this setup because I like it. So thanks for watching, everybody. All right, in the stream. Yeah, I don't mind if I'm no longer live.